together for distinguished Toastmaster Sukwa, who will be doing the sharing session. And today her topic would be change mindset, embracing opportunities during transition. We are so eager to learn from you, Sukwa. So over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Som, for the introduction. Thank you. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really happy to be here today. And with Dr. Som's permission, I'm allowed to share some part of my story and also in a subject matter that I'm really passionate about, which is change. So let me share my screen before I go on further. Can you show me a thumbs up if you can see my screen? Yes, thank you. The previous meeting when I came, this session was called a fun session. So I thought I need to inject some humor into the session. Then when I look at the agenda last night, it became an education session. So I think it's okay to make it boring or like a lecture style perhaps. So I told myself, okay, I need to prepare a decent slide in order to suit this title of education session. But nevertheless, I hope that these 20 minutes could be a rewarding one for you and for me. So let's participate together. And if you have any questions, feel free to PM me as well later on. So this title, Embracing Opportunities During Transition, is something that is really interesting right now because so many things is happening at the same time. How many of you agree that these are the three biggest changes that is happening currently? Which one do you think is the most prevalent one? The first one, climate change. Second, artificial intelligence. And the third one, political changes in the world and among different countries. So put in a chat box, which one do you think that is really close to you? Climate change, AI, or is it a political thing? Irene said one, climate change, okay. Sharmini, one, geopolitics. Oh yes, Dr. Som, you got the right word, geopolitics. Okay, choose all, right, okay, ha ha ha, all right, 3 for me. Yes, definitely, this is around our environment. And most of the time, this kind of big change, we can't really manage it very well because it is happening so fast and the impact is so big that sometimes we just follow the trend or being drowned by it. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the biggest change that has happened in your life so far? Maybe you can put in a chat box. For some people, it may be having a child, your first child, or maybe having your first grandchildren, or shifting to a new house, a new job, joining a new Toastmasters club, taking a new leadership position. So what is it, the recent biggest change in your life? Can you put in a chat box or maybe unmute to share? It's also great. Christina, getting married. Wow, that's definitely a big change. I do really agree with that. Okay. Joining ALTO. Yes, indeed. Okay, wow, Nis, your business almost 80% online. That is a big achievement indeed. Caroline joining Toastmasters. And what else? So put in the chat box because this really will lead to the next part where I'm going to share and see how you can apply some of those strategies. Today, what I'm going to share is related to these 3 main areas. First, let's understand a little psychology of change. There is a graph, or I would say a model that we can have a look how the psychologists think about change. Secondly, the importance of developing a growth mindset. Lastly, strategies to manage these transitions. Are you ready? If you're ready, maybe you can just type in the chat box 1. Just type 1 in the chat box. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so change is inevitable. And in business, change is vital. Why is it vital? Because if you don't change, your competitors may overtake you and you will not be able to survive in the long term because customers may choose the other best options. Now, let me share with you the first part, understand the psychology of change. Rather than boring you with all these facts, right? The front part of my presentation will share with you on these 3 main areas. And at the end of the presentation, if any of you would like to listen to my personal story on change, I will also share some part of my untold stories for some of you, okay? Now, looking at these stages of change, right? According to this psychologist, John, if not mistaken, so he has actually 5 stages of change. So normally when certain things happen, new things happen in our life, the first part is a pre-contemplation stage where you will be in a state of denial. You do not want to change at all. So you will have a lot of resistance in this stage. So for example, in this model that I found online, it actually uses the scenario of whether to save money or not, okay? So some people say that, hey, I hate dealing with money. Okay, I'll just work till I die. I don't want to invest, or I don't want to work on getting more passive income. So I'll just work and work and work and die, and I don't want to find other alternatives. Okay, so they'll just go with the flow. Then second one, maybe they learn about some knowledge about investing in money, and they have the success stories from their friend. They will move to the next stage and contemplate. Wait a minute. Nana lived till 103 years old. So I still have a long way to go. Where do I get all this money? So it's very hard, right? So I need to prepare for myself. You start to learn, or maybe you start to find out how to do it, how to save for your own 100th birthday party. How do you want to save for so long? If you retire at the age of 60 years old, where do you want to get money after 60 years old? So this is where the magic happens, when you take action to start saving or investing, okay? And this is the part where most of the people would not reach this stage, because many of them, maybe they just stop at the first stage or second stage, they contemplate and they have a very doubtful mind whether to do it or not, whether to change or not, follow the trend. So they may stop at this part, and not many people will go into action and then continue to have that habit and become it like a habit, okay? So this is just a simple stages of change where most of you may have encountered some of it, and many of the times we just stop at level 1 and level 2. So moving on, I would like to share with you developing a growth mindset. In order to manage change very flexibly or adapt to new change very fast, be positive all the time, I would say that this is very, very, very difficult. So that is why I think today I'm sharing about this topic. It's also a reminder for myself to always develop a growth mindset and be persistent in whatever that I would like to do. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to congratulate every one of you. And I would also like to thank myself for being in this wonderful community of Toastmasters, because in Toastmasters itself, it's really a growth community. So if you think that when you join a Toastmasters, you are not learning anything, you are not feeling excited, it's time for you to join another club, okay? Or it's time for you to join, get another new mentor or learn something new. There's always chance for growth. So first of all, if you are in Toastmasters like ALTO Toastmasters, where it's an advanced club challenging you to deliver better speeches by having 2 evaluators, I think this is really a great platform for every one of us to improve and elevate ourselves. So first, embrace challenges. Definitely ALTO Toastmasters Club has those challenges available. Learn from failure. If you participate in contests, or maybe your evaluator said not good things about your speech, learn from those failures, because I think in a platform like Toastmasters, this is where we learn from our mistakes. Cultivate a love and curiosity for learning. Focus on the effort. The more effort you put in, that is where you are able to deliver results. So why is it here say focus on effort? Because sometimes we are too focused on the results that we forget about what we have done before. But most importantly, in everything that we do, it's really crucial to appreciate the whole process, to enjoy the whole journey of growth. Sometimes we are just bogged down by, oh, I want to achieve level 5, but you forget to have a great learning process and take your time. That is where it makes the journey feel very dull. So it's very important to focus on what kind of effort you want to put in achieving your goals. Last but not least, here, surround yourself with growth-minded people. If the people that you are surrounded with are very happy, they always encourage you, give you support no matter who you are or how you are, I think you are in the right place. So keep it up. I believe every one of you are in this right place. Okay. Now moving on, going to the strategies to manage transition. Ladies and gentlemen, there are many ways to manage transitions. And I want to put a disclaimer here is that everyone is different. So if you know yourself now, as simple as asking yourself, what makes you happy? Or you can ask yourself this question, what makes you excited? These are very simple questions that we seldom ask ourselves because we are just so busy with our routine. So maybe you want to take a moment to type in the chat box, what makes you excited? Can we see some answers in the chat box? And I will just randomly pick one person from the floor to share like a quick table topic. Maybe Tunku, Adrina, would you mind to share with everyone what makes you excited?
Okay, so what I guess right now I'm really excited for the kids to start school. I mean, that would be next week. I really need time for myself. So I'm really excited for them to get back to school on the 20th. Yeah, counting the days.
All right, thank you. Wow, that's a very positive mindset as well. Maybe for some people it's a nightmare, but for you, you're excited. I'm really happy to hear that. Maybe I can just get one more person to share. Yeah, I'd like to hear from Dr. Som. What makes you excited?
At this moment, I would say that the final year university exams are going to happen. So I'm so
All right.
excited to meet these fellows during the exam and see how they're doing, what's their preparation like, and with the how do they perform in front of externals, because that's the ultimate test of our training. They'll be the final product of our training. So I'm really looking forward and excited to find out more. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Som. So if you would like to share what makes you excited, feel free to type in the chat box so that it can excite every one of us as well, okay? So here, first of all, this is for me personally, I have a 3S. First of all, in whatever change that you want to embark on, it's very important for you to know who you are and you need to set clear goals. Because if whatever that you are doing is not aligned with your personal values, with your goals, it's very hard for you to continue to take action and then subsequently maintain it as a habit. So you need to have a clear goals, no matter in whatever change that you want to have. For example, even in changing job or changing into a new house, or even changing a new partner, okay, not partner, okay, just maybe friends or whatever it is, it's very important to have a clear goal in your mind. Secondly is self-care, or I would say use the check-in technique. For me personally, in a day-to-day basis, I think every one of us is similar. You need to, early morning, you wake up, okay, you're at home, then you need to get ready for work. And once you are in the jam and how you want to transition yourself to at your workplace and get started in your day to attend meetings after meetings, and then you need to talk with different stakeholders. Then you need to come back home. So there are many transitions in your everyday routine. How do you want to show your best self and perform in a very positive manner in each and every commitment that you have? I think this part, what I do is I will always have a check-in to tell myself to set an intention before I start doing that particular thing. Okay, so I take a deep breath and then I will just tell myself, okay, I want to appear to be productive and positive at my workplace today. So that is what I will set my mindset to be whenever I'm in my car before I step out into my office. And when I come back home, especially if I want to conduct a sharing session like today, it's also very difficult for me to settle down because I had quite emotional turmoil just now, dealing some issues. So I need to tell myself, okay, I need to focus, calm down and focus on this presentation right now to deliver the best to my audience. So it's always very important to set that intention, to check in and tell yourself that you can do it. So it's the positive mindset talk that you tell yourself, and that will actually make sure whatever outcome that you deliver is really like what you have expected. So yeah, why not give yourself more confidence in this part? Last but not least is the support system. This part may not be applicable for everyone, but for me personally, I would always like to seek for a support system. It can be a mentor, it can be your family, your loved ones, or it can be a community like Toastmasters. Because whenever you have problems or you have a dilemma, you need to know where to go to. So this is where support system is very important when you have doubt, especially when you are in the transition of change. Okay, so what is your support system? You need to identify that as well and utilize it to the fullest. So yeah, that's the main content that I'm sharing today. So I hope that next part is my story, which I would just share with you what I've experienced for the past 10 years. Okay, please don't guess my age, okay? I'm still very young, all right? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I was an accounting graduate from a local university. So at that time, I'm a person who does not like my plan to be interrupted. I like things to be organized. I like things to carry out as scheduled. So whenever there is certain activities that is not carried out on plan, or example, they say that the meeting should end at 10 p.m. And when the meeting got delayed, I feel very frustrated and I could not concentrate anymore. So that is how I am last time when I was an accounting graduate. So these are some of my very young photos that time, all right? So just to share with you tonight, privilege for every one of you, okay? Now moving on, after I graduated, I stepped into a local conglomerate company to work as an accountant. So at that time, in a group accounts department, it was a very routine job. And for someone like me who always loved to learn new things, try out new things, of course, I could not just stay put, all right? So what I did was, luckily, there's a Toastmasters club within my organization. So I was very active in Toastmasters. And at the same time, I'm very active in company activities and events. So I also joined table tennis in the games for the duration that I was in the company, and I really enjoyed the fellowship with all my fellow colleagues at that time. After 4 years in accounts, I actually had the opportunity to transition my career into another department, dealing with corporate performance and also innovation. And that opportunity arose because of Toastmasters. Yeah, so the manager saw something in me because I was quite outspoken and active in Toastmasters. So that is how the opportunity came by. All right, moving on. After 8 years in that company, it's actually a stable job and there's actually still potential for me to grow, but somehow that time, a voice in myself tell me that I need to go somewhere else to explore maybe something new or challenge myself for another opportunity. So I left that job and explore the training industry. Because of Toastmasters, I'm really interested in becoming a trainer. So I joined a training provider company to see, is the local training industry a good time to enter? So after that, during the few months in that company, I learned to lead a team. I learned how to develop e-learning modules, and subsequently, I'm very interested in developing my own YouTube videos in order to help my Toastmasters member to thrive as well. So that is where I am a few years back. And last but not least, coming back to right now, after a few months, I left the training provider company because I don't really like the culture over there. So I decided to take a career break for a few months and to just sit down and think what's next for me. And at that time, I also continue my learning and development journey in Toastmasters, as well as taking up an MBA course. And currently, I'm still in my MBA part-time. So that is where I think it also gave me another opportunity to venture into change management. So what is change management all about? Please ask Google later on, all right? It's too long to explain. But I think why I'm able to do this at this point of time is with the great support system that I have. So ladies and gentlemen, that is just a short story about myself. If I can do it, I believe every one of you can do it as well. And definitely, I believe every one of you had greater stories than me. It's just waiting to be shared with more people. Once your mindset changes, everything on the outside will change along it. People ask me, Aren't you tired? How did you manage your time? The answer is yes, I'm tired. So what I do when I'm tired, I rest, okay? I take a break. How did you manage? There are support system around me and I can take a break and find resources to help me. So it's just a matter of whether you want to do it or not. So ask yourself the question, what you want. And remember, as a summary of what I shared today, change is inevitable. We can't resist change, but we can decide what kind of change we want to take. Develop a growth mindset or risk to be expired. Learn to manage your transitions and emotions daily. Do it on a daily basis, start small, and that is definitely achievable. And like Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. Start small, start from today, and definitely you can thrive. Thank you. That's all for my presentation. For your information, the title and also the content of this presentation is generated by ChatGPT. Accept my story, okay? Accept my story. Thank you. Back to you, Dr. Som.
A round of applause. And this is such an apt topic. And you also added the ChatGPT to include the artificial intelligence. I totally agree. Growth mindset is the way to go. I mean, without that, the changes around us is happening so fast that if we don't change, we will be changed by somebody. So thank you very much, not only for giving us some insights about the change, the growth mindset and the various ways how we can go ahead with change, and also for sharing your story.